Hey guys, it's Becky. I am back with another process video. Today I'm going to be doing a 12 by 12 layout, and I am going to use a 12 by 12 paper pad by Heidi Swapp called Mixed Company. It is a slightly older collection. Right here I'm going to go ahead and start looking through it at some papers I might want to use. Now I have been using this paper pad a little bit lately. I think I've done 3 layouts with it. So I have several pieces that are already partially cut up, so I just picked out a few that I think I am going to use. The one right here that I am trimming down, that is the back side of a piece of paper that is green color that I did not like, so I flipped it over to use the white side. I am going to stitch down either side of this. Now the pictures I'm going to scrapbook is 2 pictures of my son. He is sleeping in the car. This is when he was 16 years old. We had taken him to Universal Studios for his birthday, and we live about 4 hours away from Orlando, so he slept the whole way home in the car. I don't think he slept at all. It was just like an extended weekend, so I think we stayed there 3 nights, and I don't think he slept much at all while we were actually at Universal Studios, so he had a lot of sleep to catch up on when we got home and on the way home. So I am trimming down some of these papers. I am going to use that diagonal stripe, and I am going to use a piece of that blue right there, and the one I slipped behind there I am also going to use. Those are the only other 3 pattern papers I end up using on this layout. I did back the photo with that one paper that had all the numbers on it spelled out, just for a little extra color, and actually the colors I chose to put the photo on are really more neutral than anything. Right there I picked out some little bits and pieces that were just laying around my desk I thought I might want to use on this layout. A lot of them are from Maggie Holmes. Well, maybe not a lot, but several of them are from Maggie Holmes. And I do end up using a couple of them. I'm going to go ahead and glue these together, and I am going to stitch on them. And I'm not sure if I do that right now or if I do that in a little bit. I am marking the corners of where I want this paper mat to go, because I'm going to do a little bit of mixed media. It was kind of silly to mark the corners because I well exceed inside those corners anyway, so I end up covering them up. Right here I'm trying to get the perfect color of this purpley blue. It doesn't end up being completely perfect, so that blue ends up being okay. It's pretty close. I am going to test it out in my art journal. Right there it was a little too dark. I wanted to add a little light pink to get it more of a purple tone. And here's where I pulled out my art journal to see what the color would look like. Right there you saw the brayer roller flew off of it. So what I do is I roll it through the ink. I do a first generation of the rolling into my art journal because I just wanted the second generation of it on my layout, so just kind of like a light coating. Right here I pull out this Dilution stencil, and it is called Stars Large, and I'm going to use some Liquitex modeling paste. I am going to color that. I'm trying to get kind of a greeny teal color out of it. Right here is Mr. Huey's in Audrey, and as you can see right there, it is way too blue, so that really wasn't what I was going for. I do mix in some white, and it turned a little too minty. So then I went ahead and put in some navy blue and figured, well, I'll just go with another blue color. Oh, that was Heidi Swapp color shined in Seafoam. It didn't make a difference at all in that texture paste. So here is where I decided to go ahead and just put some navy blue in there, and I figured it'd be just a little bit of a lighter purple and it'd work fine. And that is what I end up using. I just put a few stars around that top right, or that top left and the bottom right. And as you can see there, I'm going well inside the pencil lines that I drew on there, which is fine. It doesn't usually bother me too much because I like doing this, so I really don't care if I cover it all up. The process of actually smushing it through the stencil is fun. I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of that in my art journal. Right here you can see I went away and stitched that page down, and now I am showing you how it looks up close. It still looked a little, I don't know, I wanted a little something more. So I pulled out this Dilutions paint in white, and I'm just going to outline all these stars. It does take a bit of time, but I do cut away from here. You won't really see me do it all. It doesn't add a whole lot to the layout, if anything, but again, it was a nice process. It was kind of fun doing it, so there was that. I am going to put this mat down. I am going to use a hot glue gun to put that down on the background. It helps it adhere to that mixed media, but it also gives it a little bit of lift and dimension on this background. It kind of pops it up just a little bit. It does look a little bit wrinkly in some spots, where maybe I might have had more glue than in other spots, but that's okay, because like even where I sewed on like the sides, I kind of roughed those up a little. I didn't really rough them up, I just kind of bent them up with my fingers. So I don't mind it looking a little messy because it's mixed media on here. It is messy. Right here I pulled out these word or letter circles. They are from Freckled Fawn. The wood was a little too wood, so I put some Dilutions acrylic ink in white and then wiped it off with a baby wipe before it had a chance to dry. These are some little tags that they were in a bowl on my desk. They are Maggie Holmes, and I pulled out a couple toothpicks and wrapped them around the toothpicks to make them into little flags. That top one says love you, and the green one says happy birthday, because like I mentioned, this was coming home from his birthday weekend. I'm going to put that down with some hot glue. Sorry about my funky hair. And I do have a little mishap on this layout. I use some Nuvo crystal drops, and you can see I have that man robe on again. And of course, my sleeves kind of messed up a couple of my dots. So it's okay. Again, it's mixed media. It's kind of messy anyways, so it kind of worked out fine. That camera, it is from a paper pad. I don't know which one. I had fussy cut it out some time ago, and again, it was just kicking around my desk, so I pulled it out. I did put it on a piece of paper and cut it out again so it would be a little bit thicker, not just, you know, super thin. I'm gonna put one of those circle wood pieces on top of the camera. I colored those white too and wiped the paint off with a baby wipe with those as well. And I'm flipping them over, putting the letter side down and the smooth side up. I just used letters like Z and W and things like that. My title is Zonked Out because he's sleeping. I was going to put something about sleep, or I wasn't sure. I can't remember exactly what I was going to make the title, but I know I didn't have enough E's. I only had that one E, so I had to be creative with how I wanted to word that. Right here I took another toothpick and made another flag. This one is just out of some pattern paper that was in this Heidi Swapp pack. Here I'm showing you the white Nuvo crystal drops that I am going to put down around the page. This is what I was talking about earlier that I smudged. So like some of the circles are not really circly because I smudged them. And some you can actually, I put one on that flag and it actually does streak. Right here is Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Seafoam, and I put that down around the page. Right there is where I messed up those two bottom ones, and I don't think I had messed the top one up yet, but I will. I'm not sure if it's even on camera. So I'm going to sprinkle that color shine around, and that is all I do to the layout. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.